Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome folks, Today the Hungry Gamer is back with another mini review, and today we're talking about Pauper's Ladder, the Moontowers expansion. Now, this is a game that was actually one of the earliest games I covered on the channel, and I actually went back and watched the video. Oh, the sound's horrible, the camera's not good, but the light's bad, but the review was good, and I have really enjoyed the vibe of this game. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just this, well, it's like Prince and the Pauper, right? And the artwork is just unique. And I really like the look of this game. And I know some people aren't into it, but I really like the look of this game. And really, my biggest complaint that I had over the years that I had Pauper's Ladder was simply that I couldn't play solo. It wasn't something that I could do with the game. I mean, you could play two-handed, and you can actually play two-handed pretty easily. Like, there's no conflict, really. You might chase different things down. You might get a little more information, but you couldn't really play solo. But it was just so charming with your little bird you're sending out. You train your bird up, and now your bird's doing cool stuff, and your Pauper's running around gathering all these equipment and items, learning new abilities and learning recipes, which are these new abilities you're learning and doing and just really a fun adventure game. Really, really is. And not very heavy, not very deep. And so I always liked it. But now Moontowers is an expansion. I've had this expansion for a long time, and I do owe an apology to Bedsit Games because it just took me way too long to do this video. But I finally really ran it through its paces. I actually did a playthrough video, which is going up there, but the audio didn't record. So, no playthrough. But in this version, you now can play solo. There's a dedicated solo mode, which is based on your difficulties, determines which Paupers you can pick, and a little bit of your time that you can play, and it has a time limit, and it gives you health, and it really adds some pressure to the game. And so I was excited to do that. The other thing that it does is there's a whole bunch of different decks of cards that you have, and you can play the Moontowers adventure. Some of the stuff you can add into your regular cards, but a lot of it is specific to this game because you have these Moontowers that are going to show up in different locations, and when they come out, you have to fight them, you have to beat them, and they're really, really bad. But by beating the Moontowers, that's actually going to head you on your way to getting these virtues that you need, as we know, to win the game if you've played the core game. And so they're kind of at the beating a Moontower is just like doing a quest. So it can also help you get there. But the gameplay is pretty much the same. You're going to move your bird and explore a location. You're going to move your Pauper and explore a location. Maybe you fight. Maybe you find ingredients that are going to help you accomplish your recipes or whatever. And that's really all you're doing. And when you fight, as a reminder, you're going to flip a card. And these cards are basically a d6. Basically, it's not all even numbers. And the lower numbers have little bonuses that you can do, like little people that show up that can help you if the situation is right. And it's all very, very simple to play and very, very simple to manage. And the Moontowers adds a couple other things, little moon crescents that you can pick up, which adds a little bit of complexity, but not much. A whole bunch of new birds. And as I said, the 4 new Paupers, but the 4 new Pauper, I get 8 new Paupers since they're double-sided, you can only use when playing the Moontowers expansion. So what do I like about this game? Everything I liked originally about the game, I still like. I love the simplicity. I love the whimsicality to it. I love just, you never know what's out there. It's so easy to move around. I love the birds. I love the birds. I love the way that those guys work. And just, it's great. It's a great, lovely, light adventure for anybody. I feel like it's a Sunday afternoon tea adventure. That's kind of the kind of thing. It's not heavy. It's not in depth, but it just is so delightful to play. And the Moontowers only makes it better. I take that back. It doesn't make it better. It makes it different. It gives you the solo mode, which is definitely better. Now you can do that. But it's just a different feeling adventure than the core game. And I think it works just as well. I really, really enjoy it. I love all the extra birds. I love the extra equipment, like stuff that you can actually take into the core game also. That stuff's all fantastic. And then you have this other little type of adventure you can go on, which I think is nothing but good. So what are my quibbles with the game? And I'm doing a little bit of a circle back to some of my quibbles that I have developed over the years I've had Pauper's Ladder. And my only real quibble with the game is, I mean, I've already made it pretty clear. This is very, very light. It's a lot of randomness to it. You're flipping out these cards, so you never know what's going to be there. There's no specific storyline that you're following. You're kind of making up your own story that goes along with these paupers as you're doing it. But it is very random, and I'm sad that you weren't able to see the playthrough video I have up there because I got wrecked. I just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn when I was fighting. I would flip cards out, I would pay gems to do extra draws, and I just couldn't beat anything. And it just happened early on in the game. The regions, some of them were locked down by pretty strong monsters. And so there is a lot of randomness to the game, and that just might not be for you. Now, for me, I'm like, well, it's a very quick game, and I went through, yeah, so what did the pauper expect? He's a fisherman trying to save the kingdom. Yeah, you're probably going to lose. So I kind of found that kind of delightful in its own way, but just something to keep in mind. The only other thing I'll say, this is one that I wish I knew a fix for. The meeples are the biggest meeples I have ever seen. They are huge. And I just wish that, not that they were smaller, but I just wish that they had the art on them. To the point that I'm tempted to, kind of moving forward, to just use the little tokens that you put on your board and put something else there so I can see the art of the characters as they move around. I love the size of them. They're so chunky. It's not kind of charming. It's super charming, but I just wish I could have some of the art somehow on there, and I don't know how that would happen. And the same thing with the birds. Right now the birds are just very simple discs, and I wish there was some kind of bird art on them. But that's a very, very niggling quibble that I have there. But in any event, there you have it, folks. That is Pauper's Ladder, the Moontowers expansion. I think this is a game that too few people know about, and I think if you're looking for that kind of randomness, Saturday afternoon adventure, and even the competitive mode isn't competitive, like you're not messing with each other, it's a race, really. And I think it's just delightful. Delightful, especially if you like the art like I do. So there you have it, folks. That is a little bit of a revisit to Pauper's Ladder as a whole, and then a little bit of details on the Moontowers expansion. And as always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Maybe become a channel member. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.